Just a week to go before the ferociously contested Delhi civic polls. The BJP's big catch, former Delhi Congress chief and ex-minister Arvinder Singh Lovely. The Congress seems to be imploding, much like it did in UP. The Aam Aadmi Party, after its bypoll rout, is now on the defensive. After the BJP Shazia Ilmi filed a police complaint against online abuse and trolling, saying her abusers had links to the AAP and she's being targeted because of the civic polls. It all seems to be hotting up ahead of the Delhi Dangal. All right, let's go right across to Shazia Ilmi from the BJP. Joining us on this program, Ashish Khaitan, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Kiran Walia joining us from the Congress, and Ashok Malik is here with us in studio. We can, in fact, let me go across to Kiran Walia right at the beginning. Kiran Walia, this seems to be the picture of your party now before every election. If it was Hemanta Biswa Sarma earlier, it was Rita Bahuguna Joshi just before the UP polls. Today, it's a four-time MLA and a former minister quitting the party at a time when it's clearly calculated to hit you the most. How do you respond?
We don't feel hit. In fact, this only is one way the party is getting cleansed from opportunism, from opportunists who wished, who today they think that, the Bharatiya Janata Party is on the ascent, so let's change the boat. So this is not what is harming the party. I think we'll be happier if more of such people who are rank opportunists leave the party. It's not been a loss, it's only been a gain. And also for the Bharatiya Janata Party, let me say, people who they have been criticizing for decades, so they want to embrace such people. And whenever they tried to do that before, I remember when Mrs. Kiran Bedi came, there was such a dissatisfaction amongst the rank and file of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So we'll wait and see how it is, how it is taken. However, a reflection on the present day politics, that if politics is all about who gets what, when and how, then there will be no commitment to principles and ideology. And Congress party would be happier when people who stick to its ideology have faith in its ideology.
Kiran Walia, I'm going to take this across to Arvinder Singh Lovely, who is really the center of our focus this evening. Mr. Lovely, the Congress party says that it's been cleansed from political opportunism by your departure. Now, you have stood on a podium with the BJP today and said the child has died, the party is finished. How would you respond to Kiran Walia saying the Congress is better off without you?
My best of luck to them if they think like that. I'm just asking you, what is the opportunism in this? Is there any election due? Is there an assembly election? Is there Lok Sabha election? Or they think that I want a corporation ticket? There is nothing right now for me so that I would shift the party. For Kiran Walia's knowledge and other people's knowledge, since yesterday evening, I was campaigning for Congress. Raj Babarji was with me and we both were going to all the meetings in East.
So what changed, Mr. Lovely? What changed?
Just listen.
What changed
Dr.
for you?
Walia, who is one of our senior ministers, raised an issue that certain tickets have not been given by the fair means. Mangatram Singhal, another senior minister, also alleged the same allegation. I contacted almost all the leaders in the party and told them at least listen to them, at least call them, at least listen to the grievances. We are not saying you follow whatever we are saying. They will not listen to us for the tickets. They will not listen to our allegations. Then there will be a campaign committee. And Kiran Walia ji is also one of the very senior ministers. She has served for almost 2-3 years.
Okay, Arvinder Singh Lovely, what exactly is your allegation now?
She is not in the campaign committee. No Delhi leader is in the campaign committee. They will not listen to us for tickets. They will not keep us in campaign committee. And what triggered yesterday, that being a former PCC president, outgoing PCC president, I am automatically a member of manifesto committee. They released the manifesto and I was not even asked about it, not even invited in it. When I have no role to play in this party, then for what I will be here? And same applies to Mrs. Sheila Dikshit. Same applies to other rest of the ministers. Even Kiran Walia has not been given any job. And if they think that without even job also they are serving the party, then my best of luck and congratulations.
All right, okay,
to them.
okay. Arvinder Lovely, before I take that back to Kiran Walia, I want to bring in Ashok Malik over here. Are we actually seeing the Congress imploding? You know, is this an old guard versus new guard? Ajay Maken being blamed?
Yeah,
you know,
I think this is a factional fight in the Congress. I mean, there could be many reasons. Maybe the BJP is seen as stronger, and maybe Mr. Lovely really sees virtue in the BJP now. That's possible. But I think there's also factionalism here, because Ajay Maken is becoming ascendant in the Congress in Delhi, which is only to be expected. He is the new leader. The Sheila Dikshit faction is fading out.
Yes.
So Dr. A.K. Walia, for instance, has stood down. He's more or less renounced himself.
And in fact, Sheila Dikshit herself has squarely blamed Ajay Maken's leadership today for these developments.
Mr. Lovely was also seen as very close to Sheila Dikshit.
Right.
He's obviously upset with the change configuration in Delhi politics. So this is, in a sense, factionalism, which happens all the time, which is endemic in Delhi politics, actually.
But of course, I mean, the timing has to be significant. You know, less than a week to go now before the civic polls. This is obviously calculated to hit the Congress.
It's calculated to hit the Congress. I don't know how many votes Mr. Lovely or how many seats Mr. Lovely will swing. I don't think that really is going to happen, but it's more you're scoring a point.
All right, Kiran Walia, Mr. Lovely says he has nothing to gain at this point. He's been a former minister, he's been a state Congress chief. Before a civic polls, even if he joins the BJP, what is it that you expect him to gain, that you accuse him of political opportunism? Isn't this part of isn't this symptomatic of a larger problem for the Congress?
Those who have left before have got senior positions in Bharatiya Janata Party. And let me tell you that I don't wish to comment. I don't know what has been so frustrating for him. But the fact remains, this is absolutely personal to him. But the fact remains that so many things happen behind the curtain. I don't know anything about it, and I don't wish to say anything about it. So it's not that if it's only about the civic polls, and politics is so much about opportunism nowadays. But I, for one, I'm from the old school. I live strongly and abide by my faith in the ideology of the Congress party.
All right.
Therefore, anybody who does like this, what is it end of ideology? Is it all about, posts, plum posts, and all about this? Then tomorrow, if Congress party is on the ascendance, then would Mr. Lovely think of coming back to Congress party? I mean, this makes a mockery of
Okay. I want to take that across to the BJP. Shazia Ilmi, someone who has been at the receiving end herself and has actually blamed the fact, the proximity of the MCD polls to what she has suffered today. Now, Shazia Ilmi, the Congress calling this out-and-out political opportunism by the BJP. They're raising questions about, if the tables are turned ever, people who are crossing over at a time like this could desert the BJP if the need arose as well. But today, you've actually filed an FIR, a complaint after being the victim of online abuse of the worst kind, and you've said that was associated with the MCD polls as well. What is it about this poll? What is it about this particular poll that seems to have brought the discourse down to this level?
Yeah, you're right. The discourse has really hit an all-time low. And I have been at the receiving end of a lot of trolling. I pretty much take it in my stride. I ignore it. A lot of filthy, lewd and obscene things are said about me day in and day out. But yesterday, really, they crossed all limits of decency when the most filthy things about ration card banwana, let's use Shazia Ilmi for ration card, and all those dirty, filthy things. And not just that, my face was used, and parts of my anatomy were described. I just feel that there's only this much one should take, and it's not a matter of any particular party, but of course I've been at the receiving end of Aam Aadmi Party, because I checked the Twitter handles, and all the people, of course, they got scared when I put out a video protesting against it, but I checked them earlier. They were all linked. They all followed Arvind Kejriwal, thought he was a god, abused Prime Minister Modi, and many of those Twitter trolls had nasty things to say about Mrs. Gandhi and Shazia Ilmi, which means that they were not from Congress, which was very evident. And also one of the Twitter handles, one of the by Naresh Kumar, yes, he calls himself the Aam Aadmi Party Adhyaksh Haryana by his own description. So, so now of course I couldn't take it anymore, because it was so filthy. You're being harassed sexually online, and there's an encouragement of the same. and people are jumping in, and you know, you become just objectified.
Okay,
here you are trying to play a role in public life,
but you're
trying
saying
to raise
that this
issues.
is, you're saying
not
you're
on the
being
basis
targeted
of
specifically because of comments
cruel.
you've made about MCD, about a certain member of the Aam Aadmi Party campaigning or at least being seen with a BJP candidate for these civic polls. So clearly, at the end of the day, while no one is taking away from you know, the abuse you have faced, there is a political aspect. And this has become an online battlefield as much as it is on the campaign trail. Ashish Khaitan, there's no excuse whatsoever for cyberbullying, even if Twitter is the new political battlefield. Will your party take action against these people if they are indeed AAP workers or supporters?
First of all, I think bullying on Twitter, and most of the worst part is harassing minorities, harassing women, has become a trend almost in public life for the last many years. And recently there was a publication which accused the Bharatiya Janata Party, including some of its top leaders, of patronizing these trolls and basically running this entire racket. We debated that book, we debated the facts, we debated a public figure who came out and gave an account that how she was part of that group and she was in touch with senior BJP leaders. So we completely condemn such practices. It is simply not acceptable in public life, and I hope that the police would investigate and get to the bottom of it, not just in this instance, but also in other instances where journalists, women activists have in the past been trolled
without
and
taking
sexually
away
harassed
from the larger
online.
battle on against online abuse, and you know, we take your point absolutely that more and more people have to come out, as Shazia Ilmi has done today. To come back to the MCD polls, why has this become such a dangal? Just 6 days to go. Why has it become all about online abuse, and indeed, why does the AAP seem to be on the defensive? Is it because of your bypoll route? Is it because your candidate lost his deposit in the recent Delhi bypolls?
Yeah, I heard both BJP and Congress, and what is very striking after hearing both BJP and Congress spokesperson, including the new face of BJP, Mr. Lovely, who has just quit Congress party, is that complete lack of vision, complete lack of political values, and lack of commitment to public service. It's all about them. They want positions. They want positions in manifesto committee, in party committees. It's all about power games, and that's where AAP is different. We have a vision for Delhi. We have been working for the people of Delhi for the last 2 years in fields of education, health, water and electricity. So while we are talking about issues, they are talking about personalities, individuals. They are in power game, we are not in power game. Look what they have done with MCD over the last 10 years. Delhi should have been the cleanest city of the country. They made a mockery of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan of their Prime Minister. The Prime Minister gave Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, gave thousands of crores of rupees to MCD, but all the money has simply disappeared. They can't even give salaries to the Safai Karamcharis in time. They have to go on strike. There is corruption in every aspect of the functioning of MCD. If you want to get your building plan sanctioned, if you want to get even a death certificate, or
Shazia Ilmi, if you would care to respond,
any kind of dealing that people have with MCD is painted with graft and bribery.
These fictitious.
That is something
I think
we need to fix,
writing a book
because MCD is one of the most important tiers of government.
This sounds like fiction to all of us. There are no facts there. And if at all they were working on any of these, they were working in Punjab and Goa for Delhi, which is so obvious. But I also want to point out that the day I left Aam Aadmi Party, I gave a big press conference. I gave my reasons because I felt so harassed over there, and I left. And that same day, I'll tell you what Kumar Vishwas had tweeted about me, which is such an insult to all women. He wrote, "Dheeraj dharma mitra arunari, apat kal parakhiye chari." So this is the mentality of this party. The day I left, I mean, I did not snitch on them. I was treated so badly. I left them, and I tried to leave on a good note. But the amount of harassment had happened.
Okay.
And
Right.
as for Ashish making these tall claims, you all know none of it is true. They have not been there. Look at the Shunglu report, look at nepotism, look at VVIP racism, look at the corruption, look at them just not being there.
I want to take last comments
lack
from
of administration
Okay.
and the lack of the presence. Complete absence.
I want to bring Ashok Malik in for last
comments
comments now.
there.
Are we? I mean, this is at the end of the day a civic polls, an MCD polls for Delhi. The range of issues we've heard today are anything but reflecting of civic concerns of the citizens of Delhi. Where does that leave us? Why has this become such a prestige issue for all the parties concerned?
Simply because this is Delhi, this is the center of politics, this is the center of the media. So politics at your doorstep ends up getting disproportionate coverage. There's one point I'd like to raise. Delhi at the end of the day is one city, it's a small city. And I personally feel, I mean the others may disagree, that if you have a municipal government here, you don't need a state government. Right. Or if you have a state government here, you don't need a municipal government. I think these two tiers are actually duplicating a lot of work.
Or perhaps acting in
at
opposition
purposes,
or at
if
cross
they happen to
purposes
belong
with
to
each
different
other.
parties, at cross purposes, yes.
All right, Kiran Walia, yes, you wanted to come in, but keep it very short. I'm completely out of time.
Ashish, but Ashish, excuse me. I mean, you're talking about vision after the exposure by the Shunglu committee. I don't know what vision you are talking about. It's so fractured. It's like now totally out in the public domain. So let's not please talk about it. Everything is now absolutely clear. What is your vision about? So therefore, what you have been proclaiming has been totally now rubbished by this. So here is a situation when you're talking about the municipal elections. I think that, you know, when a prime minister can get involved in municipal elections in Surat and other places, then, you know, obviously, but at least here, we don't have the senior most leaders running around for municipal elections, the ward elections. Yet, I don't wish to undermine what municipal elections are about. I'm so happy that people are taking municipal elections now seriously. This is what the city needs.
But so seriously, Ms. Walia, that they are leaving your party. Even someone who's been a former minister. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there for tonight.
Excuse me.
Ashish Khaitan, Kiran Walia, Shazia Ilmi.
I'll tell you once again.
Ashok Malik, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this discussion tonight. We'll continue to get you all the latest right here on NDTV 24/7, including the breaking news coming out of Tamil Nadu at this point. It's time for a quick break.